Clay Travis is the founder of Outkick.com. What grade would you give this Mideast trip?
A+, 100 on a scale of 1 to 100. I think it's one of the greatest weeks in the history of Donald Trump's political career. And if they're even praising him on left-wing podcasts,
right,
I think it speaks to how incredible he has done. You're talking about building sandcastles, though. James Comey, I'm trying to avoid cursing because I don't want to get anybody in too much trouble. But for him to post 8647, he's not 6 years old. He's not picking up seashells with his grandkids and showing them how to count. This guy is one of the biggest disgraces that I have ever seen. And I went and looked at his Instagram account. He's 64, first of all. He's not 19 trying to post bikini photos and make money as an influencer. He needs to be, I think, investigated thoroughly. And also just a few posts down from the 8647 was his endorsement of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, which he did with a seashell. Now, I'm not a great, brilliant expert in crime methodology, but if a guy had previously posted a political message with a seashell, and then he put a new political message up with seashells, maybe, possibly, he did it intentionally, which he clearly did. And I just think this is emblematic of the collapse that we're seeing of the Trump criticism, which was, he's Hitler, oh, we've got to kill him. All of these guys that spent a decade telling you that you were going to be on the wrong side of history, Jesse, that I was going to be on the wrong side of history, that everybody out there who voted for Trump was going to be on the wrong side of history. Guess what? We were on the right side of history. They're going to be the villains of history, and I don't think they have fully realized it yet. But get ready, buddy. Long after many of us are gone, you, Fauci, Joe Biden, everybody who protected Biden when he had dementia, you guys are going to become some of the greatest villains in the history of the United States. Get prepared for it.
First of all, that's great detective work, what you just did on the Instagram. Probably better detective work than James Comey did at the FBI. He didn't actually do detective work. He basically just framed people. But another thing, you don't stumble upon something like that on a beach walk. We know what beach he traffics. I'm not going to say that. But that looks like smooth sand. Now, where do you find smooth sand? You find it right next to the water, or you find it back by the dunes.
Yep.
Now, we've seen him on Instagram sitting on a beach chair in the dunes. And the last thing he posted was himself scratching out the sand. And you put that together with what you just said, this guy likes to make symbols in the sand on the beach. It's obvious he did this. And I'm not going to be the one to jump to that conclusion. The people that interrogate him will be, because I'm sure the Secret Service with a few lawyers are going to pay him a visit.
They should be there right now before the sun hardly sets on that beach. He's a disgrace. Everybody who protected Biden is a disgrace. But God bless our president and the incredible job he's doing in the Middle East. Amazing.
All right. Clay Travis, thank you so much. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.